Hello and welcome to Untitled Orchids. This is my bit to the orchid tag hashtag which orchid best represents me. Well, it is a very hard one, and well, a couple of years ago non-orchid best represented me because, well, I killed every orchid that came into the house, and lots of houseplants too, for that matter. Because, well, people said I should ignore the orchids. Well, if I ignore something, I ignore something, and it ain't gonna be good. It just will die. If I ignore it, it will die. So that didn't work. Then I thought, why oh why can't I keep any orchid alive? I did what the text said. Well, that ain't gonna work what the text says. I did what I just did something. Well, that didn't work too. Well, then I started checking out Orchid Channels, and well, as all of us, the first I arrived at was Miss Orchid Girl. I learned a lot from her, but well, she chops and changes her care quite a lot. And I didn't take in account, because I didn't know back then, I didn't take in account that your outside environment, it is so important. And well, and then I stumbled on Roger's orchids. Well, I learned a lot from Roger. Thanks for that still, Roger. And that way I started to keep orchids alive. But at first, orchids weren't for me. I killed all orchids. I killed them all. So, well, so in general, orchids don't represent me because I haven't got a natural feeling for them to just grow and just that I look at it, say soft words, and bling, blooms appear. Well, growing plants ain't that way for me. It's different with animals. With animals, I pretty much get a feel very soon. So I'm more of an animal person than a plant person. But how to select an orchid that will represent me? Well, maybe I should think about how I am and how in my rhythm, and which orchid pretty much suits that. Well, I'm no fan of bright sunlight. I've spent 12 years on the road with the sheep, standing in well, for the Dutch, blistering heat. I'm right up on top of the dikes in burning sun all day, but so I can take it, but I'm no fan of bright sun. So, well, the Cattleya Alliance drops out immediately. Those are highlight growing orchids. They do well for me, but they don't represent me. I really like them. So, not very bright. I'm not much of a full shade person too, so those will not, the orchids that fit into that are not really suited to. I'm not good with heat. Well, it feels like overheating, but I overheat quite fast. My inner biological heating system works very well, so I am better in cooler to intermediate weather. If it gets above 25 degrees centigrade, well, I'll get annoyed, especially if I'll have to be in the sun then. So no hot growers, so Phalaenopsis, they drop out immediately. My work is very seasonal. In February I start cleaning up the equipment, and in March, April, the beekeeping season starts. Well, the hands-on season starts, and it'll go on to about October, and then the bees will stay in a winter cluster, or there's no work to be done with the bees. Well, around the bees there's enough to be done, but with the bees there's nothing to be done. So maybe seasonal growers suit me best. So, well, Oncidium types don't really have a season. They just, it takes 9 months to a year to grow their pseudobulb, and then they bloom, and they're quite continuous that way. So Dendrobiums maybe, and then especially the winter resting Dendrobiums. Latoria types, for me, although slowing down in winter, they keep growing in winter because I grow them in my living room, and that gets heated to about 20 degrees centigrade during the day. So they slow down, but they'll keep growing. So they are not suited that way. Other Oncidiums, I struggle a bit with my Oncidiums. Oh, I was talking about Dendrobiums. So the winter resting Dendrobiums, they kick into gear in March. They keep growing to about October, they stop growing, and they'll have a rest. And that's just how my rhythm is too, my yearly rhythm. When beekeeping season is over, I'll slow down and I'll have a rest for a couple of months. So it'll be the winter resting Dendrobiums. Funny thing is, I got one semi-resting Dendrobium. I got the bloom. The rest I haven't even got the bloom still, but hey, I am a late bloomer too. So that way it will be fitting too. So which orchid to pick? And I already know which one I'm going to pick. It's the only one I get in bloom for the last couple of years. I've got in bloom for the last couple of years. It is a semi-resting species, and it is, I will get it. The orchid that best represents me will be Dendrobium harveyanum. Why is that? Well, most people struggle with it, and that it'll grow okay for me. Well, it strokes your ego, if I may be that blunt. Look at the root growth it's having at the moment. It's having a real root spurt. And this one, it'll start growing. It'll pick up pace during the growth season. It starts growing. The latest cane, this cane, it is over now. It's done growing. It will plump up probably a little bit. It's doing the roots now, and then it will have a rest, just like me. And then within a couple of months, it will start spiking. Well, it did for the last 2 years. And when the blooms appear, somewhere around January, mid-January, end January, beginning of February. Last year it was right at the beginning of January. But if it starts blooming, that is my cue. It is time to start cleaning up the equipment for the bees and start picking up pace again. And when it's bloomed, it has another little rest. That's perfect for me, because April and May are my busiest bee months. In June, she starts picking up again, and well, it suits me best. It suits me best, and I think the most beautiful blooms in the world, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. So this is gonna be my orchid pick and it is a strange one. Well, it had a rough time with me because it didn't do anything. It just sat there, and so it sort of hit rock bottom, almost. And well, I had quite a lot of debt. It's all paid back by now, but I had a lot of debt, and that meant, well, rock bottom for me too. And then she starts picking up, and slowly but surely, and that's just the way with me, I'll pick myself up quite fast. But I'm not a fast grower. I am slowly but surely, I will get there. That high paced lifestyle ain't nothing for me. Just go, work, make money. Well, I love my free time, and free time is maybe even more important than having a lot more income. So I'll grow slowly but surely, just with the beekeeping, because I came out of a debt. Well, I'm growing like that because I'm not going to get myself into debt again to grow like that. Just slowly but surely I will get there at the end. And that's the way I like it, and that's the way I'm going to do it. And this is just the way this one is doing too. In that couple of months when I'm keeping I'm very busy with the bees, I'll go, because, well, you take care of animals, so that's what you should do. And after that, I'll slow down, and when she starts growing, it is, she grows, and then she levels out. And well, I think this orchid best represents me, and it has the most beautiful blooms of all orchids, in my opinion. Well, now I need to tag somebody else. Well, there are that many channels. I don't know who has done this orchid tag already or who doesn't, so I'm gonna pick two. Well, keep it in the Netherlands, but with picking the Orchid Saga. Ilke, if you haven't done an orchid tag video yet, you're up. And if he already has done it, I will go for What's Up Orchids from Scotland. That is a country I really love. If you haven't done an orchid tag already, well, you're up. And if both of you already have done an orchid tag video, well, anyone with an orchid channel that feels obligated to make the video, please do so. I tagged two people. I hope you haven't done an orchid video already, or an orchid tag video already. If you have, yeah, I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. Well, it was a chatty one, but I'll see you on the next Honeybees and Orchids video. Houdoe.